So I'm here with Mandisa. Mandisa, thank you for taking time out for us.
Oh, sure, my pleasure.
Yeah, all right. So now, Season 5 American Idol. I remember Season 5 only because it was the first year that my family and I actually started watching American Idol. So remember you, remember Chris Dodge, remember Ace, you know, the reaching out kind of thing. You know, and I remember, you know, Simon's comment to you. I remember your forgiveness of him. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
You know, your testimony as you were going through American Idol.
Yeah.
You know, the past 4 years almost have to be like a blur to you because you've gone from being a backup singer to Beth Moore to now a leading, you know, leading vocalist. You've got 3 albums out. You know, True Beauty, Grammy nominated. Freedom, Grammy nominated. And in March you're coming out with your next one. I forget the name.
It's called What If We Were Real.
What If We Were Real. So now, tell me a little bit about the past 4 years and how it feels to be where you're at now.
A dream come true. I was just in a bookstore recently and I saw my CDs there and I just had a moment because I grew up wanting to do this for a living and I really am living my dream, and not a lot of people are able to say that. So I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful, and I still can't believe that it's really happening. It's definitely a dream come true for me.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's neat for the women here at the Women of Faith to have you here and to hear your story and to hear you sing and to know what's going on with you. The reason why I wanted to get together with you isn't just to talk about all the past 4 years and the immense success, because you've done quite a bit. I mean, when you think about it, True Beauty, I mean, that debuted at #1 on the Christian top albums, and it's the first time that's ever happened for a female debut vocalist, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You are a trendsetter. You know, with Freedom coming out and that being Grammy nominated as well, I mean, those are some huge accomplishments. But you know, what you've accomplished even more in your personal life is even more significant because, if I understand correctly, your parents were divorced when you were a toddler. You have the addiction to alcohol. You have your Night of the Dark Soul, I believe. Yeah. And now you're at a point where you're calling yourself super single. Yeah. And you know, there are a lot of girls out there, you know, that are watching this and just in general that, you know, they can't define themselves without having a boyfriend, or without having a guy, or, you know, stuff like that. They see themselves only the way they perceive other people to see them. But you seem to have gotten past that. Tell us a little bit about where you were, where you are now, and you know.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a void that's in all of us, and I think certainly with the divorce of my parents, I mean, I grew up not really knowing them as a married couple. And then just some things that happened to me, some sexual abuse that happened to me as a child, that certainly sort of made the void even larger, I think. And I'm going to correct it. It wasn't addiction to alcohol, and it's addiction to food.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
No, it's okay. The thing is that they're not very different, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people turn to alcohol, and a lot of people turn to drugs, and my drug of choice just happens to be food that is not healthy and good for me. And so I realized though that as I ate, it made me feel good for the moment, and but it was temporary, and it would constantly be a craving for more. After I filled myself up, I would need to do it again, and it just got to be where I could not get enough. And so I battled it for my entire life. And the thing that did happen though was that I kind of started patting myself, and men stopped looking at me, and I wasn't as attractive to them. And on one hand, that was really good because I felt safer, and after having been abused as a child, it made me feel kind of comfortable. But now that I'm celebrating, you know, my 30-something birthday.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I'm realizing that God is trying to dig some things out of me that I've ignored for so long because I've just tried to mask it with food. And so He's been doing a work personally in my life that has been setting me free. And it's no coincidence that my album Freedom was coming out at the time that He was doing that work in my heart. And it's just made me realize that there's nothing that can satisfy me like He does. And there's nothing that can fill that void the way that He does. And so as He's teaching that to me, I'm learning that I am valuable and I am beautiful and that I do deserve good things. And I don't need a man in order to make me feel complete. It would be great whenever the Lord wants to bring them. That would be great, Lord. But He's also teaching me that in that area, that He is what satisfies me, and He is the one that makes me complete. And He'll bring that when the time comes, but for right now, I'm just going to stay content in where He has me.
Right. You know, and that's a neat thing, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting somebody special in your life, but you know, it can be an addiction.
Absolutely.
You know, wanting to have something. And I see so many girls that they go from guy to guy to guy.
Yep.
And, you know, no sooner are they done with somebody else, then all of a sudden they've got somebody else.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you know.
Well, the thing is, I think a lot of people do to the opposite sex what I've done for food for so long, that they keep looking to something else in order to fill it. And it's not going to be filled by anything but Jesus. He's the only one that can truly satisfy your soul. And so I'm learning that the hard way. It's not something that comes easy, but it's something that I think is a necessary lesson for me to grasp.
Yeah, and the neat thing is you know, we live in a broken world, and it's never been more true than now to be able to say that, because, you know, families, you know, you can't go anywhere without seeing a broken family, a mixed family, you know, a single parent family, you know, and kids are struggling to figure out, you know, how do I overcome this tough start to life? You know, how am I supposed to have a family when I haven't had that exemplified for me? And you know, seeing somebody like you come along and being able to find your rest in Jesus and define yourself without having to have all the trappings that most people see to find them.
Well, I think the great thing about the Lord is that even if we've not had a perfect father, and my father is in my life, but I don't know how many people can say they've had a perfect father, because there's no such thing as a perfect person.
Doesn't exist, right.
But he is, and you know, in those moments where I'm crying myself to sleep and I'm feeling lonely, I can remember that he's always right there with me, and that when I want somebody holding me, that he can hold me, and it may not be as physical, but that's why he also left us the body of Christ. I've got some of the best friends in my life that have just been, they've taught me so much, and I feel like they've definitely filled a very healthy void for me. And so I really believe that, I was just listening to Lisa Welch, who's up on the stage speaking, when God wanted to send his love in a way, he sent Jesus down in the body, but when he went back up, he said that we were the body. And I think that's a great thing, to be able to surround yourself with people who love the Lord, and they can definitely sort of be the hands and the feet and the eyes and the ears that God would want for us.
I want to make a shameless plug for church. She is involved in a Bible study.
Right. Yes, I am. Right. Absolutely. I think fellowship with other people and growing in the Word together is very important. I think that that's a very important part of why Jesus wants us to, of how Jesus wants us to grow in our relationship with Him. And so church is very important, and having that fellowship with other believers is as well.
Awesome. Well, Mandisa, I think they're trying to tell us to wrap it up. So I appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
I hope you have a great tour.
Thank you. Appreciate it.